Hi, and welcome to TTELT, Teaching Tips for English Language Teachers, a program of educators worldwide. I'm your host today, Melanie Gobert.
Hello, everyone. This is Melanie Gobert, your host for today's episode of TTELT, Teaching Tips for English Language Teachers. Joining us today is Barira Shahid. Barira is a EAP and Academic Study Skills Lecturer at Montfort University in Dubai. Welcome, Barira.
Thank you very much for having me.
Barira's topic is a journey from profession to purpose, okay? So how did you identify your true purpose or passion in your career journey, Barira?
It's very interesting, and I always share this with my first classes, when I always start the initial days, that I'm born and raised in Saudi. And I can really find myself among students who find struggle or see English language as a challenge in their academic journey. So I started off, or I can define my purpose when I see myself in those students, because for me, this is not my first language. And if I tell you honestly, I think this is my third language, maybe. And I acquired it, and to face all those challenges and to become what I am today, I have gone through a lot. So when I see students struggling, with English language, it gave me an idea that, what, if I have gone through this and I am what I am, so let me find a purpose in making others or students who have struggled like this. And the region where I am in now, we have expats. And honestly, if I can say, like, okay, internationalization of the education has become very common now. But to tell you, like, if we go back 5 years even, English language was the biggest challenge, the biggest hurdle for students, and the globalization of education is making English as the most important thing, So my profession became my purpose when I lived what I see my students live now, So I think that's pretty much where I see myself, like, I think this is where I identified my purpose, because I could see myself, in those students, if that,
Well, what do you mean? When I see myself in what my students live now, what exactly do you mean by that?
That's a good question. The challenges they face for communication, not only in the classes, outside classes, the hesitance they have, the shyness they face to talk to their classmates, to talk to the teachers, simple things like simple questions they are unable to question. They're able even to ask sometimes, what is the assignment, or what are the right requirements of the assignment? It's not they're not smart, they are very smart, they're very good. The problem is the language. They find it difficult to convey their thoughts. They find it difficult to respond to, a simple question asked in the class. And when you actually ask them, oh, they're smart students, but communication in a language makes them fall back. And this has been a greatest challenge. And I have also, why I say that, because I have also faced the same challenges a lot. So when I see them struggling with, composing a simple sentence in the class just because they want to ask for help, or, they find it too difficult to get the instructions. So that's where I think that, I feel like, oh, okay, I know this, I can relate to it, that but you're unable to respond.
Okay. Can you share any pivotal moments or insights that guided you towards aligning your career with your sense of purpose?
See, this is it's my experience, to be honest with you. You know, I started off as grade one teacher back in Saudi Arabia and Riyadh. And every year I got promoted and in the same organization. And then I became a high school instructor coordinator. My entire time of teaching is actually full of such moments that had given me motivation and inspiration to keep going, you know, and eventually become something, not only a person who stands in the class and gives instructions, okay, this is the submission, this is it. To me, I find I actually try to build that bond, that rapport with students, that they find that trust in me to learn something out of just the book learning, you know. So there's so many things, honestly, like so many moments, honestly, in my head, right, which have actually kind of shaped my entire journey so far.
Okay, so how do you define purpose in the context of your life and work?
See, purpose has different definitions, isn't it, for everybody? It's a very subjective thing. I do understand for everybody. For me, purpose, I think, is always like self-reflection. It starts from self-reflection. It goes through trial and error. And you know what? And most importantly, I think align your values, you know, with what you plan to do in life. I think that's pretty much where I see purpose, you know. And most importantly, always have an inspiration, have something to look forward to. Finding a balance, honestly. Uh, there's so much in it. To me, I also define it as setting meaningful goals in life.
Okay, in what ways has your passion for your profession impacted your personal and professional growth?
Professional growth, I just started off my PhD last year. I got enrolled in a PhD, and to tell you, you know, my research is actually based on non-native speakers of English. It is based on how non-native speakers could find better ways to get engaged, motivated, and express themselves. UDL, you know, Universal Design of Learning for non-native speakers of English. That's one. And for personal, I think personal had been very much like how I find myself coming out of my comfort zone and then trying to like face the challenges. Uh, because when you come from a region where you know you have to find your way into something new, so that's where I think you kind of set yourself, you know, as a personal purpose, I think.
Okay, so one final question. What advice would you give others who are seeking to cultivate passion within their own profession?
Find something meaningful. Find some set meaningful goals for yourself, and always find a balance. Look for a balance for something that makes you happy and you are doing it. There should always be a meaningful balance between profession and what it makes you, like what you seek out of it. Don't only seek profession as a job, a career. No, there has to be something for you in it. There has to be a purpose in it. There has to be some meaning in it for you. And if so, then honestly, you can really achieve a lot.
Okay, thank you so much for joining us today, Barira. We really appreciate it. This has been your host, Melanie Gobert, for today's episode of TTELT, Teaching Tips for English Language Teachers.
Thank you for joining us today. Share with us how you are using these tips. Leave us a comment or voice message on social media or at ttelt.org. Thanks for joining this episode of TTELT, brought to you by Educators Worldwide. follow, like, and subscribe to TTELT on your social media, and try a new teaching tip today.